Hey guys, how we doing? Another quick video on the account tonight is a quick review of 2025 film Working Man, Jason Statham's latest cinema release. And give you a heads up now, I am a Jason Statham fan. I love the guy. I know a lot of his films are outrageous or a little bit illogical or whatever, but it's something I enjoy as a bit of nonsensical fun. I like that side of the action. I like him as a person. And I like him, his aura and that kind of stuff. So if you want a review that is going to be based on hoity-toity sort of pretentious stuff where they look at quality of acting, quality of dialogue and that kind of stuff, then realistically they're going to score it negatively because it isn't that kind of film. But if you're looking at it as a pure form of entertainment, just to like get your blood pumping, get a bit of adrenaline going, it's a really, really good film. I don't think it's been one of his best. I think Beekeeper was better and other more of his classics were better than it. Whilst I'm very good at saying that obviously you just need to leave reality at the door, etc., I found that I was having to do that a bit too much. Like there were scenes where he was on a bike in front of a car, not doing evasive manoeuvres whilst they were shooting at him. And it was for a pretty long stretch and not one person could hit him with a machine gun. I get it in some things where angles are tight or whatever, and you can write it off saying, okay, it's difficult to get a connection. But some points it was just getting a bit like, you need to think this through so it doesn't look quite as ridiculous, because there's a difference between about being tough to kill and it just being poorly written so you're not going to die. And I think it did verge a little bit into that tonight. The acting, exactly the same film as he's done many a time. Retired hard guy, back on the straight and narrow. Something happens to someone he's close to and he has to revert to being a hard guy. That sounded wrong. Has to revert to being a tough guy, getting back into the action and the fighting. There was a blind David Harbour from The Hunger Games and from Lily Allen. I think they've broken up actually. But he wasn't in it very much. One scene with him that really did my head in though, towards the end, he was looking after Jason's daughter and they're trying to protect him from like Russian mobsters or whatever. And Jason just walks through the door and starts chatting with them. They had no idea someone was coming through the door. So realistically, a bit illogical. I mean, I guess he could have phoned them, so you can write that one off. But yeah, it just felt a little bit weird. As for like the rest of it, the action was good, location was good, cinematography was all right. The sound effects, like Jason films in cinemas, is just epic, like the bone crunching, the punching, the shooting, the like metal casing hitting the floor, things like that, all excellent. There were some illogical things like he's parking up at a compound not too far away from people, but it's at night and he's still got his car lights on. Everyone would be able to see that if you're in a forest and it's not that far away. Another massive, there was quite a lot, considering the quality of the people who are doing the producing and the screenplay and stuff. There's quite a lot of people that I think coasted through this and were a little bit lazy in terms of quality control. It doesn't, again, affect the film massively because it is just what it is. And it is a standard Jason film, like a run-of-the-mill. So 8.5, 9 out of 10, good fun, stupid action, one man versus them all, and that is all great. The one thing that I'd majorly mark it down on was the casting. It was some of the weirdest casting I've ever seen in one of those movies. You've got people out of like EastEnders. I mean, Emmett J. Scanlon out of Hollyoaks, although I do think he's an excellent bad guy. He was in it. The guy out of EastEnders who's done a lot of like BBC comedies. The weirdest though was one of the high-up Russians was a character in a BBC Three sitcom called Cuckoo with Greg Davies, Andy Samberg, and then later Taylor Lautner. And he was dreadful, like genuinely bad. His accent was bad. His look was bad. If you thought like a Poundland version of Penguin from Batman. He was that character tonight, so that wasn't good. As for the rest of them, most of them were passable. A lot of them didn't have too much to do. It wasn't much about the dialogue. It just, words were spoken when they needed to be spoken to move it along. And yeah, it got to where it needed to get to. And overall, it was an entertaining little action flick with a satisfying conclusion. They've left it open towards gearing up for a sequel, but my gut would say it's probably not going to do well enough to warrant a sequel. He's been, I don't know about all of his films lately, how well they've done, but he hasn't had very many sequels. They're normally just one and done kind of thing. Although I have heard they're potentially doing a Beekeeper too, so I might be wrong there. With this one personally, I would drop this as a one-off. I didn't think the characters who they were looking to do it around for the second one are strong enough. The dad of the victims that Jason took out was just a poor actor. He didn't have any presence, didn't have any aura. And that really affected a lot of it. Like, the characters were a bit pathetic looking, a bit too jocular and weak, and I don't know, it's just, they were very bizarrely put together, and it wasn't like your standard like Russian military badass killers. It was, they had the tropes of having tattoos on the face and drinking and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't anything that you'd consider particularly threatening or I mean, obviously none of them could shoot a gun for the whole of the film, but other than that, like, if you like Jason films, you'll like this. It's a solid film. The action's great, sounds are great, time flies by. If you don't like Jason, I think this will probably be one of your least favourite ones you'd watch of his. But for me, I love him, massive fan of him. Probably his weakest for a few films, but again, definitely watchable. But I'd say, like, if you've got Sky or a streaming thing, I'd wait for that. Although the sounds are great in the cinema, I couldn't justify saying to someone, pay 20 quid each to go and watch that kind of thing. Maybe on a saver day or a special offer, maybe, or if I've got the limitless subscription, so something like that. But paying full price, it wouldn't be one that I'd recommend on that level. But anyway, yeah, solid score at the end, really good film, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.